When did dying feel romantic? Dad was covered in scratches, bleeding on each sleeve when we found him on the side of the road. At the hospital, he sat there with fear glazing his eyes. "Who are you?" he asked Mom. The doctor pulled us aside and showed the brain scan. "Alzheimer's," she told us. Mom fell to the floor, sobbing and cursing at the unforgiving disease. She reached out and held Dad's trembling hand. "We'll get through this. Don't worry." Mom did her best to make things feel normal for everyone. She created memory books and labeled everything in the house with yellow sticky notes, celebrating the good days when Dad remembered our names. But as his condition worsened, I watched Mom become more desperate to keep things together. She forced the caretaker to dump buckets of iced water to help wake up his brain, and fired her when she started refusing. She made Dad stare at photo albums, slapping him each time he got the name of a relative incorrect. The entire thing felt like an endless loop of disappointment, and I knew that no one took it harder than Mom, but I also couldn't look whenever she did those things to Dad. Then one day Mom stopped drilling Dad with the photo albums and stopped creating those scripts for us. Her face looked more exhausted and more lost than Dad's did, and it worried me. "Mom," I asked, "is everything okay? Do you need a quick break maybe?" When she didn't respond, I suggested, "Mom, I think we need to just put Dad in a facility. This is too much." "Too much?" She interrupted and let out a sad laugh. "You want to waste money we don't have? We already spent everything on treatments that didn't work. You have no idea what I sacrifice every day." I reached out to hug her, but she slapped my hand away. "Mom, I understand." "You don't." When she looked at my hurt expression and rubbed her temples and said, "Just stop. The real him died months ago." The house felt so lonely after that, like we were three unfriendly roommates rather than family. Mom still cared for Dad, but not in the same way. Minimum effort and no conversation. Then one day Mom smiled at me and said she came up with a solution. "I know what he really needs." She sent me off to refill his medication while she got her next mystery plan ready. I felt so relieved, so happy to see her look so bright and hopeful again. I set off to get the medication. When I came back home, I heard Mom and Dad's old wedding video playing loudly in the living room and found myself smiling, thinking that things got better while I was out. But when I entered the living room, no one was watching. I left the medicine in the living room and started frantically calling out to my parents. I ran to their bedroom and forced the door open. When I saw the horrific scene, my knees nearly gave out. Dad was strapped to the bed with a plastic bag over his head, making horrible choking sounds. Mom was lying beside him, completely expressionless while she stroked his hair and whispered, "Good boy. You're almost there, my love." His body flopped around like a fish on land, his wrists rubbing against the police cuffs he owned before retiring. I ran over, blinking away the tears, and stabbed my finger through the plastic, tearing a hole. Dad gasped for air while Mom screamed at me, "You're prolonging his suffering. Our suffering." I ran around the room, searching for the keys to the handcuffs, begging Mom to help me. She refused, telling me how this was the only moral choice, and that we were given this challenge by the universe to teach us how to mercy kill. "This is love. You have to learn how to let go." She sat up on the bed with a smile while tears streamed down her face. She grabbed a pillow and pressed it over his face with all of her strength. "Mom, stop it!" I yanked at her arm, which loosened her grip, but it only made her press on it harder. After a struggle, I grabbed both pillows and threw it out the door. "You said we'd get through this, that things would get better soon." She held onto my shoulders, nails digging in. "Don't you see? This is better. This is how we care for him." I pushed back and slammed her onto a wall, angrier than I'd ever been, until Dad recovered enough to weakly say, "Let her do it, please." But I felt myself immediately calm down from the gentle sound of his voice, but I still refused. I told them I'd call for help and ran to the living room. Just as I told the 911 operator our address, 2 gunshots spread through the house from the bedroom. The operator kept asking for information, but I'd already dropped the phone. When I entered the room, I found them holding hands with Mom's head on his chest. They looked like the final scene from Romeo and Juliet, but with blood seeping from the holes in their heads. Dad died instantly, which I like to think was what he wanted, but Mom survived. The bullet had lodged in her